When a woman starts pulling back, when she stops texting like she used to, when the energy just drops off, most guys tell themselves a story. She's busy, she's just stressed, something must be going on. And sometimes, sure, that is true, but more often than not, something else is happening. Her attention has shifted. Hello, I'm J. El Camino. Why El Camino? Because it's the only Spanish that I know. Now, today we're going to talk about a truth that most men don't want to hear, but need to. You're not being ignored, you're being replaced. And if you don't understand what's actually happening, you're going to respond in a way that makes it permanent. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't always mean there's another guy in a serious sense, but it does mean there's another source of attention. And because women frequently gravitate to attention like a moth to flame, another emotional focus, there is some other kind of source of attention going on, something that's currently taking priority over you. And in today's world, with the dating apps, the social media, the constant access, and hungry, thirsty men out there, that shift can happen very, very quickly. Women go where they feel the most attraction, and attraction is not static. It doesn't just change and just stay the same. It moves, it changes, it responds to behavior. So if her interest in you drops even slightly, and there is another option that feels more exciting, more engaging, or simply newer and more fresh, her attention flows toward that. It follows that. And this is where most men make the mistake that locks in that loss, that permanently ruins it. They chase. They try to get her back through effort. It's completely understandable. It's a natural way of things, the yin, the yang, the give, the take, the back and forth. It's understandable why that happens, but you must resist the urge of mankind. So men will text more, they explain more, they try and reconnect through words. But what they don't realize is they're competing from a much weaker position. Because when you chase someone who's already pulling away, you confirm that shift in power. You're saying without saying it, you matter more than I do. I'm trying to win you back. And that dynamic kills attraction. We could look at this in terms of perceived value. So the person who is chasing is always seen as lower value in that moment, not because they are in real life, but because of how they're behaving. And behavior shapes perception. Let's take a look at the idea of calibration. Calibration is being able to read the room and see what's happening around you in reality, not what you want it to be, right? But this is where you separate emotional reaction from intelligent response. You don't assume, you observe. She's texting less, she's taking longer to respond, she's not initiating. The energy is off, and that's not something you fix with more effort. That's something you adjust to. And the adjustment is simple but not easy. You stop chasing immediately, not as a tactic, not as a game, but because it's the only response that doesn't make things worse. Now let's take a look at the idea of emotional tension. Attraction needs space to grow, especially from a woman's point of view. It needs uncertainty. It needs a little bit of mystery. It needs room to breathe and ferment. And when you're constantly reaching out, constantly trying to pull her back in, you remove that space, you smother the dynamic, and it makes you look weak and predictable. Now let's take a look at it from her point of view. If she's exploring other options, if she's got hungry men in her DMs and other sources, then her attention is going to be divided. Who do I pick? Who's my best option? If she hasn't completely decided on you, right? And you're the one constantly reaching out. You're the one who's available. You're the one with, there's no mystery. There's no challenge. She's already got you. There's nothing else she has to do to keep you. It's so easy. She's going to get bored. So there's no reason to lean back towards you. You're already there. So when you pull back, when you stop initiating, when you become less predictable, something changes. Now there's contrast. Now there's space. And if there's still any level of interest at all, that space allows her to come back. But here's the part that most guys don't want to hear. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes she doesn't come back. And that's because her interest wasn't high enough to begin with, or it dropped too far. And no amount of chasing, texting, or explaining would have changed that. But that's actually a good thing because it reveals the truth quickly. Instead of dragging something out for weeks or months, trying to revive something that's already gone, something that's like it needs to die already, it's like off life support, you get clarity. Now let's talk about what you should actually do in this situation. First, you stop initiating completely. You don't send another message. You don't follow up. You don't check in. You let silence be what it is. It mustn't be as a punishment, though. It mustn't be seen as a tactic. So you can do a slow fade if that's better. And you want to keep all your communication very friendly and upbeat. Never anything negative, never anything but hurt, or it looks like victim mentality. Look what you did to me. None of that stuff, because that'll just backfire and ruin it completely. The next thing you want to do is redirect your focus, because the biggest mistake is not just chasing her, it's mentally obsessing over her. Checking your phone, replaying conversations. You've done it, I've done it, we've all done it. But the point is, you got to use discipline to prevent yourself from continuing to do it because it just wrecks everything, that energy. It leaks into your behavior. You walk around with a stressed looking face. It's just people pick up on it. It's ugly, 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 weak, and horrible, and you don't want to do that. So now you shift your focus back to your life where it should be. You should be the center of your life. Your work, your routine, your purpose, not as a distraction, but as a reset. She's supposed to complement your life, not overtake it. And when you allow that to happen, it makes you look weak and unstable and wobbly, and nothing disgusts women more than that. And that's any woman, by the way. So if she does reach out, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to jump on it like a giddy fool. You want to act cool, play it very cool. Oh, great, good to hear from you. Always positive, but never gushy, all right? So you don't act like nothing happened. You do not interrogate her. Who have you been seeing? Right? You stay calm, you stay grounded, and you move things forward, ideally to seeing her in person. Because texting is not where you win her back. Real interaction is. Now let's address something important. This is not about competing with other men. It's not about lowering your value in a response to a shift. You don't have to win by chasing harder. You win by maintaining your frame. And if she chooses someone else, then she's made her choice. But just realize a majority of men are going to F it up at some point. It's guaranteed. Like almost everyone's going to mess it up or screw it up or do something wrong. They're going to then become weak and needy themselves, and the cycle repeats. That's where she might start taking an interest. Oh, what about him? What about Johnny or something? That's where she's going to circle back and like give you another chance potentially. It might be like a couple of months. It might be a year, but it's like almost guaranteed that that's going to happen. So if she made that choice though with the other guy in the meantime, that's fine. Let her. Good for her. Good luck with that, right? So, and chasing her after that just reinforces that you were a low value option. And again, even if you aren't a low value option, it's about perception and it's about how a woman feels about you. How you make her feel is more important than reality itself, okay? More important than reality itself. So instead, you accept it, you move forward, you keep your standards. Because here's the truth. The right woman with high interest, she doesn't replace you overnight. She doesn't disappear. She doesn't leave you guessing. She shows up, she engages, she invests. So if you find yourself in a situation where she's pulling away, where it feels like you're being ignored, don't assume, but don't be naive either. Pay attention to the behavior. Pay attention to the shift. Respond, though, with restraint. And let the situation reveal itself. You're playing a game of cat and mouse, back and forth. All right, you're putting the lure in the water and you're getting nibbles. You have to kind of treat it like the game that it actually is, all right? Because the moment you stop chasing is the moment you stop losing. And that is what you need to do to win immediately. If you like this, like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my next one. She didn't lose interest. You changed. Here's why.